Good morning. How's everybody doing? This is a pretty good day. Let me explain to you why I feel it's a good day. Then you can argue with me about it, okay? Good deals. I think I got poison oak somehow. So, we're going to switch it up a little bit. I think as we've been traveling along this path, you may have forgotten some of the things I said at the beginning. And I think it's important to keep everything on track. So, with that being said, let's talk about it. And I think the most important thing that we should do at this point is congratulate ourselves. If you're still here, even if you didn't agree, if you took the time to look at my obscure way of viewing the world, you did it. You participated in a social experiment. You did something in your life outside of the norm. Maybe you didn't learn anything from anything I had to say. It all sounded like just a funny way to spend time listening to somebody else talk. That's okay. But I got you to think, which to me means the experiment's a success. There was no expectation on how you would think, only a hypothesis, can't speak, on what I predicted would happen. You get it? That's what science is. You got a theory, you figure out a way to test that theory, you see what happens. Now I'm going to tell you a little story about this. When it started, it did better than when it ended. And it's not going to end. I'm going to keep doing videos 100%, but I said I was going to do 61 videos to change the world. I said that because my theory states that if I can get one person to look at something differently, it may change the whole world. Since anything is possible, this is the minimum required output to get the maximum input. Isn't that a weird way to look at it? If you understand what I just said. So, today is day 61. Today is the 61st video. There was no other parameters to the thing. In fact, I could have made the 61 videos and only uploaded 6 of them, and I think it'd still count. Because I didn't put parameters on that part of the way I structured this social experiment. So this says video 59, but I've deleted 3 videos. One I deleted because the way that I was trying to present information was trash, and so I threw it away as a critic. Doesn't matter. Another one was the beginning of my life story, and I don't really talk about my life story too much, especially the really traumatizing parts. I don't really go into it. It's stuff that's been unpacked. I don't need people to feel any kind of way about it. I've already felt enough about it, you know? And I got real nervous cuz like I have friends, you know? Everybody has friends, and some of the stuff that happened to me as a kid, I was concerned. This is the dumbest thing, but this is honesty. I keep it honest on this page. I was actually afraid of them hearing some of my life story and them thinking differently of me. And then I laughed so hard that I doubled down and I've gone really deep into my life story. That was the cause and effect, as it were. I did that. And so I deleted 2 videos. And then there was a third video that I created that I never even uploaded. So it never even had to be deleted because, well, I think maybe it was more like I come to some conclusions and need to talk to myself in a mirror, as it were. But I could go back and listen so I can understand myself. Does that make any sense? So this is video 61. I did it. And in doing it, I created a series of steps to show you that it is entirely possible to change your mindset on something within 61 days. And you say, well, what did you change your mindset on? Well, a few things. In fact, you could say that what you've been experiencing in these 61 videos, even though there's only 59 available, is that you just watched me use conscious thought to give myself therapy. In fact, you could say that what I've done over the last 2 months, 3 months, is give you a working example of how it's possible to just be yourself. And even if you don't like some of the parts, even if it's scary, it's all you. There can't be anything scary about you because you're you. No one else is you. It's been a very interesting journey to take with you. And I want to put some very important details into this video because I think it's important that as you watch these videos, as you experience my words, and as we disagree and agree, I want you to understand that right now, over the last 20 videos, I'm the only person that's watched them. And I know this page is going to grow, and I know a lot of things are going to happen, but I wanted you to understand that I got 700 views out of 60 videos, and that was it. I wanted you to understand that before this took off, before you got to hear these words, I completed it with no instant gratification at all. I thought it was important enough to speak on that I was willing to not care on whether or not anybody heard it yet. I wanted to show you how easy it is if you really put your mind to something to see it through, regardless of the current outcome you're getting. Are you looking for instant gratification or are you trying to create? It's just like being an artist. Being an artist and creating an amazing piece of art, it can take you 3 years to sell that piece of art. You understand? It can take you 3 years for the right person to finally look at it and go, bro, that's worth so much money. Like, where did you even get that? I painted it. You what? That conversation for any artist, it doesn't happen right away. You have to practice. You have to practice. I no longer dislike speaking to you on camera. I healed that in myself. This isolationist mindset that I don't need input. And the input's going to come later, apparently. And that's okay. I was only sure of one thing, that I had something to say, and I hoped somebody would have something to say back. That was the expectation. And I've got a couple comments, most of them are real negative, but I got a couple good ones. But no one's watched these videos. It's amazing. It's a gift. It shows me that I'm right on track. Because it's not hard when you see somebody with a face tattoo to hit share and like send it out or send you a little group of hater friends so everybody can bag on this or tag somebody in and be like, look at this idiot. Let's listen to him and make fun of him. That didn't even happen. That was the best part. And I wanted to thank everybody that didn't participate. You made it easier to make these videos because instead of having blowback or feeling like I needed to go make a side video about what somebody said, everybody just kind of gave me a chance to finish the entire series beforehand. And the series was on free will, my version of free will, how I see it, the different ways that I see it, the way that I experience it, how I view the world based on this mindset, like how many different other mindsets it took and how much study and life experience and fucking up it took me to like get a grasp of what I think about it. Not what anybody else thinks about it or if I'm right, but what do you think about what I said? It's going to take off. It's going to trend. It's going to be interesting to watch people debate. And the second they get like, see, this is my page. So I'm the ringleader. So if like you guys are having a debate on my page and arguing with each other, cool. The second one of you like starts personally attacking the other person and gets off subject, I'm going to immediately chime in and declare a winner and then delete the person off my page that was being an asshole. It'll be like, getting a debate up into a point, and then all of a sudden, the teacher comes in and goes, nope, nope, you're wrong. He won the debate. Sorry. You've been on the debate team. Somebody has to win the debate. Because there's two forms of communication, in my opinion: debating and building. You can say there's three forms of communication, but I don't count destruction as communication. It can't by definition. It could be bad communication, I guess, but you're just adding slights to the same parameters of an idea. So you're either going against each other with the intent to figure out what's right, or the two of you together are creating a better version of what's right. That's what communication is to me. Weird way to look at it, right? And this video is going to be completely rambling. 100% rambling. There's no point other than for us to like just bullshit because it's done. I think video 9 or something like that, I put we already won. That was the video. We already won. Now here we are, episode 61. And I bet there's a bunch of people out there, or will be, that eventually will consume this content and the world will change because of it. A lot of it's going to be negative. I've got a lot of negative things to say about a lot of ideas I consider insanity. I've swung at some things in the dictionary that why do you only pick those words when there's so many words in the why are those ones so important? At some point somebody will start piecing it together. I've done the best that I can based on, the parameters of my experience, my understanding, and my imagination on how to go about fixing the world without moving a muscle, by simply speaking, by using thought to determine how the battle goes. I think it's an important distinction. I think there's a difference. I think there's a noticeable ripple effect when you approach a situation to create love. Nothing else. And I've been tested all the way through these videos. All the way through. Almost exclusively up until this point. The only comments I got about the tattoo on my face. No one's even debated anything I've had to say. They've all just made vague threats, which I left on my page. I don't mind. You want to make a comment like that? Ooh, internet gangsters. Ooh. It's been a very interesting ride, and I wanted to comment upon it. I wanted to just be joking and laughing and relaxed and not trying to force new thoughts in your head and like, nope. I just wanted to mention that I have created an entire lake to drink from now. It's right over there. It's numbered. Each drink of water is its own creation, but it's all part of the same lake. I wanted to show you that in all regards, if I'm going to say something, I'm going to live like that. It would have been irresponsible of me not to do 61 videos minimum, because how could I show you that it takes 61 days to change your whole life? And if you watched all 61 of these videos, and there'll be 61, there'll be hundreds of these, I don't think I'm ever going to stop. I'm having too much fun at this point. But understand, right now there's no support, and I'm joyous and I'm happy about it. It had nothing to do with anybody else. It was just accomplishing another mission, creating again something new by itself no one else has ever seen, and leaving it to set an example. And the point is, like, if we could just trend this, if we could make it cool to do good things for other people and like try to one up each other on like fixing the world, that'd be great. You know, that's what I have on my bingo card for 2025. Everybody's got world wars and aliens and all these things. You've heard this expression. Everybody's talking about this. Nah, I got world peace, wormholes, and fixing the whole world. That's what I got on my ticket for 2025. And I think I'm going to get a bingo. I think you guys are wrong. I think the whole world's changing for the better as we speak. I think that people are having very serious conversations right now about things. And I think they're thinking along different lines. And at some point, you have to realize that, like, that's our government. They work for us. They only exist because we pay taxes. And the laws only exist as they do because en masse we haven't said we want that changed now. Fuck you. You work for us. Somehow, big government with their big scary agencies are in control of our lives somehow. And that's not how government works at all. And that's definitely not how a democracy or a republic works in either way, shape, or form. Doesn't matter which one you want to call it. No matter what, centrally, the government is bigger than the people. And just because they sanction something doesn't make it right or should be legal at all. And some of the things the United States done is 100% war crimes. They've been doing it for a long time. I love this country. I love the people in it. I love the land. But the government's something that works for me. That I'm not supposed to have an opinion about the government is ludicrous. I have the right to say whatever I want. And for a person that's supposed to be working for me as a human being, they shouldn't be scary at all. They shouldn't have any right to do anything in any way, shape, or form except help people be better. That's all. And if it's not about that, I don't know how we decided the government has control and gets to make fucking laws and fucking terrorism laws and lockdown laws and like all the different things. And then states do whatever they want. And as long as the government doesn't step in, there's nobody can stop them. And then if you try to go against your state, then the government's going to step in. When did any of these people become in charge of anything? The only reason they have anything is because the police have guns and they have an army. But that's supposed to be our army. Isn't that our kids that's in the army? Isn't it our taxpayers that paid for every last fucking piece of equipment that is in the Army and the Navy and the Air? Didn't we pay for all that? How is that tops? Didn't we pay for that? Didn't you ask us for money or just in some way lobby some way so some of our taxes went to that? Didn't you do that? Don't you work for us? How is it that you've decided in some way, shape, or form you're anything more than somebody that should be fired? It says there, right? United Constitution, we can fire you. We don't have to do it with war and guns. We can just literally come in and fire you. We can come in and make a declaration that the United States government is fired and we're going to redo it. That's the fucking basis of the whole Constitution. Your gun rights are so you can enforce that. If the government becomes tyrannical and you can no longer do it and they haven't allowed laws to do it and all that. But you know what happens if, like, just 6 states, all the people just showed up at Washington, D.C. with tractors and semis and they just shut the entire area down? And they said, no, you're shut down. You don't have enough police to arrest all of us. You're not sending a fucking missile into the middle of Washington, D.C. That's not going to happen. You're fired. Get the fuck off the White House. Get the fuck off the lawn. Get the fuck out of here. We have new people and new ideas that we want to implement, and we're enacting our rights because you work for us. Do you see how that works without violence and without being mean to anybody? You literally have the right to fire them. You just need enough lawyers at once and a big enough group of people. It takes about 4 million people. If 4 million people stand somewhere in the United States and say, we're changing this, they have to change it. It is how you vote for who's in office. None of that's actually real. All those people just work for you. None of that's real. And if you don't like what they're doing, it says in the very Constitution that they use to make laws that if we do not agree with it, we can put a stop to it. You know what happened if 4 million fucking people showed up in Washington, D.C. and shut the entire state down? Oh, it'd be chaos. And there'd be all this and they'd try to start riots immediately, and they would have people looting immediately, and there would be fucking arrests immediately, and they call national emergency and try to bring in the army. Whatever, there's 4 fucking million people sitting on their butts, and not one of them is willing to stand up. That's the one thing they don't want. You can have your movements, you can have your civil rights parades, you can have all your division, you can have as much money as you want, you can have it any way you want as long as you don't fire us from doing all the fucking stupid shit we're doing in the world. I'm a political activist, as it were, because I believe that we could do it better. And maybe the system we had worked for a while, but we've already seen the end results of how our system works now. We've seen it already. We already understand what capitalism does. I was watching a thing on Sierra Leone last night on the diamond trade and kids. So you can have a diamond, one of the most exclusive luxury items in America, diamonds. A child has to work and dig for you to have a diamond. You don't understand that? You don't get that simple truth? Who's in charge of the diamond trade? That's white privilege for sure. Everybody says you can't find white privilege. Look at the diamond trade. I know I really rambled off, but growth is a pie chart, volume 2. New things I'm focusing on because the old ones I've already worked through. New ideas, new concepts, new realizations that lead to more ideas of how to fix things. Constantly evolving, want to help, gotta help. How can we help? Life of servitude. Thank you for being on this journey with me. And thank you for tuning in. And at some point, I know this will have a bunch of views, and people won't be able to understand why it was that nobody would look in the first place. That's because I started with a bunch of haters because of how I look, not because of how I speak or how my mind works, simply because how I look. Does that mean my biggest fan are going to be people that are blind? I got that nice deep voice, you know? The perceptions of things.